Hey guys, it's Shama Maher here, CEO of Scaling Retail. We are here at Magic taking a look at some of the best companies that are out there, paving the way for future brands. And today we're here with Ellen Edenkrans to talk about Swedish Stockings. And this is an incredible brand, started in 2013. They've been a pioneer in sustainable hosiery. And I'm so thrilled to be able to speak with someone who's been so close to the foundation of this company, helping pioneer it, launch and grow it here in the United States. So thank you so much for taking time to chat with me.
Thank you for wanting to.
Oh my gosh, a real gift, especially when it comes to pioneers. You know, I think that sometimes when we look to sustainable businesses or businesses that are paving the way, you know, we often have to look and say, hey, what is the actual value proposition and how is a brand positioning itself?
Yeah.
And I think you guys have done just such an incredible job of creating an amazing product, but also branding yourself, as you mentioned to me earlier, and not such a so like, hey, we're only sustainable, right? Or, hey, this is only an afterthought. This is implicit in the business model. So please, Ellen, talk to me a little bit about how the company got started and how you got involved, and more about how your father got involved.
Yeah. I know, right? Weird perv. No, I was kidding. No, so Swedish Stockings was founded in 2013. It all started with two women from Sweden. They watched a documentary called The Light Bulb Conspiracy Theory, and it was talking about how things were basically just designed to break, and tights being one of them. And it's what a lot of people don't know is that it's a very polluting product. It's a petroleum-based product, so the production of it is usually very dirty. And then, as we all know, we buy a pair and then they break, and you just throw them in the garbage. Which means that they end up in landfill, and since it's petroleum, it doesn't degrade. So they saw this and they were like, well, hey, why haven't anyone done anything about this? Number two, what can we do? So Swedish Stockings was born. So all that you see here is recycled. Not fully because of the LSD, and you can't quite take that away from the tights yet, but we're working on that. So everything is manufactured in Italy in zero waste factories. Very important to us that that's the base of what we do. On top of that, we realized, well, Lynn and Nadia realized that that can't be it. Like, we need to be, in terms of like design and what we do, that needs to be the focus. The sustainability things is just like the basics, which is what we want everyone to do. Like, and that's, we're very open with that. Like, we're the first, but we don't want to be the only one. Because I mean, this needs to be the future if we want one. So that's kind of how it all started. And then since then, they've just built on with a bunch of new styles when it comes to collections. They don't necessarily change and come out with all new stuff every season. We just add on a few because we do try to be limitless, or timeless, I mean. So yeah, in terms of that too, it's like that's also a sustainable way of looking at things. Like, don't design for just the season. We want it to be something that you can wear in 2 or 3 years. And also, of course, we want it to last. So
absolutely.
Yeah.
And talk to me about your involvement. So you're obviously heading up operations here in the United States. Being an international company, launching business here, there's certainly, it's a different market, right?
Yes.
It's a totally different climate, different customer, different competitors, different messaging, branding. Like, how are you approaching your scale and kind of your global growth?
Well, so, I mean, I just work in North America. When it comes to marketing and such, like, that's very much of the Sweden team. I don't really touch much on that. You've seen our Instagram.
Yes.
And also in today's technology, you reach a lot by just focusing on that. And then we do like the influencers and stuff like that too. We do collaborations. We have a Ganni one. Ganni, I don't even know how to pronounce that. Yeah, exactly.
Love their stuff.
Yes. Amazing stuff.
So amazing.
A Danish company. So yeah, I mean, we do a lot of collaborations with that just to kind of spread the word and have those people or like those companies and names that have a big market or big audience more so help us just tell our story and spread the message of what we do.
So in terms of balancing, obviously you have a direct-to-consumer business, right? And then you have your kind of wholesale accounts and whatnot. What's the market feedback been like, as you're opening up stores here? Like, how much explaining do you do, right? Like, what's
quite a
like?
bit.
Yeah.
I always start with just saying that we're the only sustainable hosiery brand in the world, because then when I say that, a lot of the questions come to me. and then I can better kind of understand what the customer is looking for, and therefore also address the questions and answers that they actually want to hear.
What are those questions? Like, what are they asking?
It's like, well, first off, it's like, what does that mean? It's like, well, and then I just do like the full speech on that. And then also it's, some have more technical questions, like, okay, well, how does that work? Like, how, those kind of things. And then some people just truly just focus on the style and design of things. They're like, oh, that's cool. But then you go straight into like the colors.
Got it.
Yeah.
So some are more with their like merchandising and buyer hats, and some are kind of trying to understand like, what does this technology mean, right, for the future of our market, et cetera.
That's really when I have to test my knowledge. It's like, well, yeah.
That's amazing. And from a distribution focus, are you guys looking at both kind of the big box retailers as well as specialty stores? And
really
kind of going after the entire gamut?
Yeah, because we believe that sustainability is for everyone. So it's not just a certain, type or a certain store. It's for everyone, and it should be. So
interesting. And have you noticed any sort of concentrations of where people are the most gravitating in this country, right? Is it mostly California stores that are buying, or
East Coast?
East Coast.
Very much East Coast, closer to Europe.
Of course.
But but definitely East Coast. A lot of New York stores around that area. So yeah. Online, it is a perfect product for online, because if you buy it in store, you can't try it on anyways.
Sure.
So, and also online, you have the pictures and everything, so it's easier to kind of see it.
Interesting.
So,
Of course. And as far as like the lifespan of your product, right? Have you stress test your stockings? Like,
obviously the thinner styles don't last as long.
Sure.
We're still working on it, which all the hosiery
Everyone
brands
is.
are. Exactly. Yeah. So still working on that. But no, you do get, in terms of like average wears on tights, we do fall on the longer side.
Amazing.
So, yeah.
Amazing. That's exciting. And as far as like your plans or where you would like to see the business grow into, so you've been with them now for a few years. You're like, in it, like you mentioned, it's a small team and everyone's working kind of double duty. Where do you kind of see this brand cultivating and growing in North America?
More into the majors. I'm still chasing those down. We have some good stuff coming up this fall. But no, really just like getting out there more. It is hard. Like, there's so many brands. There's so much to know, especially about this brand. And I feel too, like, some can get a little intimidated by how much of the story there is to tell.
Yes.
You don't necessarily have to tell it all the time, but it's just like, it's just a lot. So I'm just hoping that more people will kind of pick up on it and just keep on growing. We're still not where I want to be, but we'll get there. Yeah, we're definitely heading there. Yeah.
So our audience is comprised of a lot of businesses that are in growth stages. They're trying to figure out how to scale. You know, they're maybe direct to consumer and they're looking to go into wholesale. You're obviously a sales specialist here. Like, how do you keep up the courage? And what are some like tips? Like, how do you find yourself able to kind of wake up every morning and say, all right, I'm going at it. Like, got to get back in the game. How do you do that?
It's like just, my main thing is that just consistency. Just keep on emailing, keep on calling. I don't stop until I get an official no. And some people are like, okay, like, shut the fuck up. But for me, it's like, well, I know I have the, and that's the thing. The main thing is like, I truly believe in this product. I love the company. I love that it's women entrepreneurs. Like, it's all about, empowerment and all that. So, and I think that is like the main keys. Like, if you have the will and if you have, the energy for that, because that kind of energizes you, and just keep on acting on it, and just, if you want, like, set your goals, set them high, and just shoot for them.
And the other thing I think is fascinating is, the other narrative that I often hear is, oh, do I need to do trade shows? Like, how often do I need to do them? From your experience, you're showing at different shows, right? It's like you keep at the grind. So as far as being present and having representation, how important of a role do trade shows play, like, in your sales strategy?
I've been so back and forth on that, because it is, you do spend a lot of money, and there's like, it's a big chunk of your week, and it's just, but then the U.S. is such a big country that if you look at it, it's like, okay, well, if I were to just go out and travel and visit everyone, that would take like up all my year, like my entire year.
Yes.
And bank account.
Would.
Yeah. So this is just
so
this is just like such a great way to kind of meet everyone and touch base and meet new people for sure. That's really the main thing here. Like you just meet new clients and stuff. So I think it's really important. We've divided up like this. So now like we do this one here in August, and then we do Coterie in New York in February every year. So that's like, you kind of hit both coasts.
Sure.
I think we'll add on New York for September next year, because we do feel like there's a bigger traffic there.
Yep.
But it's still important to, keep West Coast, because I love the West Coast.
And then one more question. I mean, as you're kind of looking at syncing up, working with your global partners, right? So like the counterpart to you, right? Who's like hitting on some of these doors. Do you guys ever align your goal? Are you guys sitting down together and saying, all right, like here's how we're, world dominating at this point? Or, do you run pretty autonomously? Like what's the collaboration like?
So, I mean, some of the majors and some of the bigger stores, they have locations all over the world. So that's like kind of what ties us together. And then with that, you start the conversation about goals that you have and kind of continue. We had a meet, kind of like a distributor meeting in Sweden last year, where everyone from across the world, distributors, came together with the founders. Great time. It was just like such a nice way of kind of getting, a face to the name, and you can talk and learn from each other's strategies, like what do you do, and like especially the one thing that I always struggle with is like, well, you send out all these emails and like 10% get back to you, and I'm like, is that just me? So, but apparently it's not. It's like everyone. So I'm like, okay, good. I'm not doing anything wrong. But that's like really the main.
Amazing.
So yeah. But
okay, perfect. Well, I'd love for you to walk us through the collection and show us some of the bestsellers, show us some of the core collection, like what's new, what are you the most excited about, what
sparkles.
Are your buyers excited about, right? So like, I always find sometimes there's like what I love and then what the buyers love.
Yeah.
Right?
There's usually a different,
like, why don't you love what I love?
Yeah, exactly.
But, I would love, take us through. Let's see what you got.
Yeah. So I'm going to start you over here.
Sure.
Because we got some cool things right here. But in terms of new stuff, you see this one. This is our very fancy and pattern-wise. Yep. Then we go into our Olivia. We now have in a brown. Right. This is our bestseller since day one. Oh, awesome. Also comes in a black. But something to just like kind of add to all of our styles is that we'll always have a broader waistband to kind of avoid the dig-ins and like the roll-downs.
I hate that.
Yes. So a lot of people appreciate that for sure. The net is not. But yeah, so obviously sparkles. People are going crazy for the sparkles. So we got our Philippa dots right there. Moving on to, sorry, my coffee mug is right there. Also, we have this one, the rib, which is super pretty. Super pretty. Fun for New Year's.
Beautiful.
Obviously, we got some tights going on, and then this I would love to talk a little bit more about. This is our Innovations by Swedish Stockings. It's our innovation line, which is our promise to our consumers or customers that we continue to innovate and try to reach for, the 100% sustainable tight.
Got it.
Which this one is. This one is Poly Innovation Tights. It's made out of PET bottles collected from the ocean.
Very cool. May I?
Yeah, of course. It's also cotton in there. But so that's just kind of, we test new ways of doing things and all that. So our first collection came out this spring, so this is now our second drop.
And how many colorways is this guy coming in?
2. So it's the blue and the black.
Awesome. This blue is beautiful.
Isn't it? Yeah. Very electric.
Oh my God, how yummy.
But it's just fun. And I mean, it's fun for us too to kind of, test things out and be a little crazy. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, of course. As far as like manufacturing, do you guys, are your partners like really, supportive? Do you guys own your own manufacturing at this point?
No, we don't. But all of our manufacturing is in Italy. Okay. So in zero waste factories, solar panel driven, the water is purified.
Is that hard? Do you know if that was hard to find?
I wasn't in the company when they were looking for it. Yeah. I'm sure it was probably a little bit of a challenge because no one has done this before. But also something I forgot to add is that we do have our recycling program added on to everything that we do. Okay. So we take in tights from all over the world, anything like, damaged, torn, whatever, from any brand that we then collect. We grind it down and we put it in as a filler material for glass fiber tanks. That's the only thing we can do at the moment.
Got it.
So this fall, not sure if it's this fall, but we are going to go into furniture. So we're actually going to build furniture out of that. So obviously our hope would be to, recycle old tights into new tights, but you can't do that because of the LSC.
Yeah, of course.
So we just have to do something else for right now.
Well, I mean, hey, doing something is better than nothing.
Exactly, yeah.
And being able to take people's products back and turn them into something else, I think is definitely the way a lot of clothing and our categories and our industry is heading, at least until we're able to fully understand kind of, what is going into these products.
Exactly.
And then how do we kind of break those materials down and then kind of get them out to actually be recycled.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, I think that there's a lot to be understood in fiber and materials. I mean, it's a wide open market right now when it comes to technologies.
It is. And luckily it's in fashion right now. So people are like, yeah, sustainability.
Anything else you want to walk us through over here?
Yes, I do want to show these two right here. So this is our Selma net tights. That one's also new for this fall. We got our Tura shimmery right here. And then our Kaisa. Or was that Kaisa? I don't remember. All new styles. Still getting to know these girls. But yeah, so those ones are new as well. Then we also have our Freya. This is a wool mix, knee-high, which people love. This is also a knee-high that we have, but that one's not new. But yeah, so here's a little bit of our packaging. We don't want it to be big legs spreading on a package, so we focus on the beauty of women and the curves, kind of, with some information on the back with our symbols right here with the sun and the circles.
And as far as the collaboration with Ganni, for example, how's it going to manifest in the market?
So we just did styles with them. So that's something that they are selling. We are not. I don't think we sell any of them ourselves. So yeah.
Oh, wonderful. So they're like, hey, we want your product. We want to brand it.
Yeah. So it'll be in their stores.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Ellen, so much. Any parting words? Anything else you want to share with everybody?
I mean, stay sustainable. I'm just kidding. I don't know. No. No, not really. I mean, look us up. Go to our website. We have some really cool stuff and read more about our story. There's so much to tell. I touched on 10% of it. So,
awesome.
Yeah.
I'm going to take this back from you. All right, guys, that's all from us today at Swedish Stockings. Thank you, Ellen, so much for walking us through everything. As you guys realize, being a sustainable business obviously doesn't mean you have to sacrifice style at all. You don't have to sacrifice positioning, and you can certainly weave these kinds of business strategies into the fundamentals of your identity, right? It's an amazing opportunity and way to be able to have great initiatives that are doing good things for the planet, while also making that part of the norm. And I think that the standardization of that is just so incredibly valuable, and I'm just so grateful that we got a chance to connect. So,
thank you.
SwedishStockings.com. Yes. Make sure you guys check it out, and please leave comments below for Ellen. I'm hoping she'll answer questions on sales strategies and how to keep your confidence high when you're yeah, right. It's no one's answering my email. Anyway, all right, guys. Thanks so much. Bye.